I'm all packed up and ready to go.
Play the theme music.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Tripology. I'm Alun and I'm here with the ever disorganised Adam.
I am feeling that traveller FOMO, mate, but we should dive straight into the episode because we've got a lot to pack in.
Lots to pack in, that is right. I am all packed and ready to go. I'm flying tonight to Brazil for a best friend's wedding.
Yeah, what an amazing thing. It's been a while. How long have you been in the UK?
I've been in the UK now since the very start of the Christmas period. You know, I arrived in the UK sort of first week of December. I've been travelling up through the UK, spent Christmas with family. And now I've had the best Christmas I've ever shared with my family.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's been really great. But you know what I'm like?
Yeah, I do know what you're like.
Time to travel now.
Itching to go.
Yeah.
So you just, it's very fortunate, shall we say, that one of your best mates is getting married in Brazil.
I know, exactly.
Can I ask you an honest question?
Go.
If the wedding...
Yes, I want to get married.
If the wedding was in a less interesting country, would you still have been as eager to go?
Wagner, who's
It's a bit rude question, that's a bit rude.
Wagner, who's getting married, is one of the few people that I would fly so far to go and see get married.
Well, you can't fly much further than Brazil.
I know, yeah. So oftentimes it's a recurring thing that happens when you're traveling. People ask you to weddings and you have to weigh up in your head, like, can I justify going all that way to see this person who I love? I love many people. I've said no to many wedding invitations of people who I love.
Yeah, fair enough.
And, you know, some of them who are like best friends who I really like to see. But sometimes it's difficult to leave the country. You've got a visa you'd have to cancel, all that sort of stuff. This one just aligned, so...
Amazing.
I'm off.
Well, you must be excited for many reasons.
Yes.
Well, with you going away, mate, it's a fantastic opportunity to go to what is one of our favourite items, the hostel common room.
Oh my God, let's go.
Hostel common room. How many countries you been to, mate?
Hostel Common Room. It's a kind of space that exists on our website, tripologypodcast.com, where travellers from all over the globe write little emails into a contact form. They can ask all sorts of questions like, Alan, how do you pack denim jackets in your bag? I don't. It's swearing this because I'm at home. Or, Adam, what hair product do you use whilst you're travelling? Those sorts of things. Ask it. Hostel Common Room. What someone emailed in with today. You said it was convenient.
It was very convenient, mate, because with you going away, we've been contacted by a lovely listener and fellow traveller.
Yeah!
About the subject of what it is we pack in our bags.
Oh, amazing.
So here we are. I'm going to read the email out in full. It's from Sif, and Sif says, "Hi guys, I'm a Kiwi currently travelling UK and Europe in a van." I've always wanted to do that.
That's impressive for a Kiwi. I was talking about the fruit. New Zealanders are brilliant.
I'm glad you clarified that.
Yeah.
So yeah, traveling UK and Europe in a van, incredible. And I've really enjoyed listening to your podcast while on the road. I'm planning to head to India sometime this coming year and will have to cut down my gear. I was curious if you might be willing to do an episode on what's in our bags.
Oh, yeah.
At some point. It's going to be a short episode. As you guys have so much experience backpacking, and I've noted Alan's deep and abiding love for his pack. In any case, I'm enjoying the content and wish you all the best on your travels. Cheers, Sif.
Sif, you are in luck because we've been asked this question a couple of times before and we've been in situations where it's not been practical, but we're in a very practical situation for this right now. So I put out a request and there is going to be a special guest on the show today, Sif, just for you, introducing.
We don't have guests very often.
It's Lucky.
Oh my goodness.
In the bag.
Let's just make sure all those wires are still connected. They are. Excellent.
Yeah,
Lucky.
Lucky sometimes coming in with a bang.
Excellent. Let me move over because, you know, I get to sit on this couch more often than Lucky does.
Now, it's switched very much to a visual media. If you were just listening to this show and I said, Lucky's arrived, you might think, what is Lucky? A dog?
Maybe a pet dog.
Perhaps a human being? A diminutive human? But no, it's a bag.
A Kiwi.
He's on the couch right now. You can see him if you go to youtube.com/@tripologypodcast or, you know, if you're just listening on Spotify, you get a video there.
There's video now.
Lucky is a bag that's been with me for, I don't know if you can tell from looking at him.
It looks like you were given this as a gift at your birth, and you've carried it everywhere ever since.
But in actual fact, what happened was when I first decided to go traveling back in 2015, I picked out this bag, and my dad, as a joke, put him in the little wagon and pulled the wagon along and went, "Come on, Lucky," as if the bag were a dog.
Oh, okay.
It's been named Lucky ever since. I then took it to show my grandma and said, "Look, this is the bag I'm going away with." She went, "Oh, Lucky." She was Polish. So that christened the bag Lucky. It's been Lucky ever since. It is now carrying some holes. There's some rips, but on the whole, I would say it survived very well.
Definitely. We're going to talk about the manufacturer and the sort of model it is.
Yes.
Important.
The bag is an Osprey Farpoint 40. It's a 40-litre framed bag. It's got a metal frame, and it's just survived really, really well. It's the only bag I would ever travel with now. I consider this bag almost psychotically amongst one of my best friends.
Okay, so if Lucky, you choose to get married in any country in the world, you can be sure that Alun's going to be there.
Yeah. Dude, I think there's been times of my life where I've not spoken to another human being for months, but Lucky's been there.
There you go.
Whilst I'm doing some intense travel. So
got your back.
In response to Sif's emails, what we'll do, I guess we'll open Lucky up and I'll show you exactly what I travel with.
Excellent. Let's get started. I do just want to say as well, you've noted that your bag's 40 litre.
Yes.
And I mean, there is a line, there's a threshold, isn't there? Because 40 litres is very important. In most cases, anything 40 litres or below can be considered hand luggage.
Yeah, so Lucky's never ever had to be checked into a hold, ever.
Amazing. I'm the same with my backpack, but it's not about that. It's a different episode.
Yeah, Lucky's always come with me in the carry-on buses, on planes, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So look, I think
I can attest to that. I've used Lucky as a pillow on a few occasions.
Have you really?
Yeah, a joint pillow.
Yeah. So it's going to be. We'll try and just describe as best we can. Hopefully, this episode will be very, very useful to travellers who are maybe picking out a bag, deciding what do I take travelling. Minimalism is very much key for me whilst traveling. I want to be minimalist.
Yeah.
Now, you'll notice this is where me and you divide opinion with our bags, because importantly, Lucky is a top opening bag. Not a top opening bag. It opens all the way.
Yes.
So a lot of people carry these sort of hiking bags that you go into from the top down.
Yes, a top loader.
Yours is one of those, a top loader.
Yeah, I mean, it does have a large pocket on the front, but it's nowhere near as large as yours. So you can access the centre of the bag if it's fully packed.
Lucky opens up like a suitcase. Maybe important to mention there's a lock there. I use a combination lock. It's really important to have a lock while you're travelling.
Yeah, agree. It's not, not often the heaviest item, but certainly worthwhile. Sometimes they're provided by hostels, but I very rarely use those.
I mean, first, what do you notice when I open up Lucky here?
It is incredibly well organised. I mean, it is like the Tetris champion of 2025 has helped you pack your bag.
Yeah, exactly. Fans of the show will recognise this is the new Pashanka, replacing the Pashanka that was lost in India. It's one of the most useful things I carry.
Yeah.
It's a long scarf, essentially.
Incredibly versatile.
Can be used as a towel, can be used as a beach kind of cloth, a beach mat. I've used this as a pillow on many, many occasions. I've used it as a blanket on buses. I really, really recommend someone carrying a really lightweight, long piece of fabric.
And if you do record videos that are going to be broadcast and published on the internet, you can also use it to cover up things that
yep, sometimes
that maybe you don't want people to see on camera.
It's being used as a background cover. Exactly. Then packing cubes, man, really, really useful. I have one large packing cube for long sleeve shirts, and my pants go in there.
Yeah, so this is essentially a sort of a little sack, if you like, with a zip around it.
Stuff sack.
A stuff sack, and you just can keep, I mean, obviously you would keep probably t-shirts in one, underwear in another one, that sort of stuff, but it just means you can pack things down very tightly.
Yeah.
I guess, they're easy to access when you open your bag again. I actually don't use these.
Right.
I often look at the way you pack, and I aspire to be as organised as you are.
Yeah, I mean, I consider myself the ultimate packer, so I think these are Eagle Creek Spectre packing cubes that I got, and these have lasted 10 years alongside Lucky.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you wash these with the laundry as well? How does that work?
Sometimes, yeah, I wash them. Not every time I do laundry, because only clean clothes go in these.
Okay.
This is just clean. So I think traveling can get depressing sometimes because it's so disorganized. All your stuff's going into one bag.
Yeah.
This is like a little way that I keep everything clean. Only clean clothes go in these, and they're like drawers essentially. So long sleeve items go in the big one.
Yeah.
underpants and socks go in that small one that I just threw across the room. So that's underpants and socks.
Amazing.
T-shirts go in this one. And it's like 3 separate drawers.
Excellent. Yeah, no, that's really good. And I mean, I don't know exactly what the material is. It feels
Sort of like a synthetic
something
material.
synthetic. Yeah, but incredibly lightweight on its own. I mean, it weighs almost nothing, right? The pack is still just the same weight as whatever you put inside it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, all it does is basically organise the things inside. It doesn't add any extra weight.
I would highly recommend getting a set of 3 packing cubes, one for smalls, one for mediums, and one for larges, and then just organise your clothes accordingly in them. It makes life a lot easier, makes it simpler. All my stuff inside there, is it worth showing, Adam? I mean, we're going very much into a visual medium here.
Well, we'll have to ask Sif. I think she'd like to know what's in your bag.
The method of packing cubing is everything is rolled up into little sausages inside there.
So the rolling technique.
Yeah.
I like that. So it's not just what you've got in your bag, but the way you pack it as well.
Everything is rolled into the packing cubes, and that's why they're so like compact and dense.
Yeah, so what I do, I don't know if anyone shares this technique with me, but if I've got, say, 5 T-shirts, 7 T-shirts in some cases, I will lay them out flat on top of one another, stack them up, and then roll it as a big sort of bundle.
Right.
So the T-shirt on the bottom ends up being the exterior of the roll. It's like a little T-shirt.
But then what happens when you use that T-shirt?
It goes in the laundry bag.
Okay.
Yeah, which is something that you've kind of given me along the way. It's not something I carry typically. All the dirty clothes either go in a plastic bag I find on the way or at the bottom of my bag.
Yeah. So I also have this. It's just a little black synthetic sports bag. That's where dirty laundry goes. It's also one of the most important things I think to travel with is where my flip-flops go. Thongs for our American listeners, sandals, shower sandals.
Yeah.
That all goes in the laundry bag. It's super, super important because if you don't wear shower sandals, you'll get athlete's foot or a verruca or something like that. So
yeah, and I guess it's a way of keeping your sandals separate from the rest of your clothes. So if there is any sort of dirt or whatever else,
which inevitably there is,
yeah, it doesn't go on the rest of your stuff.
Yeah, so anything that could be dirty goes in the laundry bag, and that's just simple then, because obviously the flip flops they get dirty.
They do. Then
it's just quality of life stuff, Adam. I've got a beard trimmer to keep myself looking neat.
Well, that's no surprise, is it? I mean, look at that beard. If you're not watching this, then I highly recommend you do.
You're missing a trick.
Yeah, he's got a cracking beard, old Al.
Yeah.
And it is something that we chat about every now and again. It's the length of Alun's beard.
It varies in length, and that's in no small part due to the beard trimmer.
Yeah.
Obviously, glasses case.
Yeah, because
important.
you wear glasses.
I wear glasses. Contact lenses also go in the glasses case. I take them out, put them in my eyes. I've got travel contact lenses.
What's it like to travel as someone who does wear contact lenses?
Frustrating.
It is frustrating, is it?
Yeah, very.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we've slept side by side for many nights, and it is part of your evening and morning routine. But you seem to just take it in your stride.
Oh, I've got to the point with my contact lenses that even if I'm like blackout drunk or something, even if I've taken ayahuasca in the Peruvian jungle and I don't know what's going on, I will wake up to find my contact lenses perfectly neatly set aside. It's just part of,
that's
how things
amazing.
work. Don't have to worry about it as much, but it is annoying. I have monthly lenses and I travel on, so I have to travel with solution and stuff.
Oh yeah. I suppose the solution is like a travel-sized bottle, right?
Yeah, it has to be. And then I usually buy a bigger bottle if I'm going, if I'm not taking a flight.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a bit of a shame if you had contact lens fluid and they didn't let that through, but
it has happened.
I've actually been through certain immigration checkpoints quite recently with things I thought I shouldn't have been allowed through with. So,
like what?
Quite lax. Toothpaste, does that kind of go under the radar? If you've got a big tube of toothpaste that's
more than 100 ml?
Yeah.
Wow, it's a big tube.
I was allowed through, but I thought maybe it's just because it's paste.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe the guy behind the watching the screen, he's just having a day off or whatever.
So controversially, this is a bit of a bombshell. And, we'll go to a meditation break after this maybe and continue with the pack afterwards. But I have just categorically stopped taking my liquids out when I go through security.
I hear you, mate. I hear you. Because do you think, I don't know what the ratio would be, but I mean, let's say 50-50, just for argument's sake. If you get checked, we've probably as podcasters, as travel podcasters, got something in our pack they're going to pull up anyway.
Yeah.
And you might as well just get it out all in one go.
So often I hear on like Travel Podcast Guide 2 is like, organization's the key through getting through security. This is easy. I have my little liquids bag that's see-through and I put it out and it's all so simple. I just quit doing any of that. Yeah. And I've not been stopped once since I did.
How strange.
Yeah. I quit about when I went to India, I just committed to myself. I'm never going to do any pre-security checks to myself at all.
Yeah.
Sometimes they ask me to get my laptop out.
Okay. So you don't even separate your laptop?
No. I've stopped doing anything. I've just started putting Lucky on the tray and sending it through.
And you haven't been stopped?
Yeah, they've asked me to take my laptop out once, but apart from that, it just goes through.
I mean, we're not trying to fill people with fear and say that there are breaches of security, of course, at airports.
No,
but that doesn't undermine the process itself and make it incredibly redundant.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's go to a brief meditation break.
Alan, we should make a place where fans of the show can listen to episodes, read articles, and maybe contact us.
Done it.
What?
Tripologypodcast.com.
Oh, should we put a link in the description?
It's already there.
You are good.
Like a laptop surreptitiously sneaking its way through an X-ray, allow your conscious mind to return into your brain. Adam, one of the most important things is this little tennis ball-sized piece of equipment. That is my day pack. It's an Osprey folding little packable day pack.
Okay, now the fans, I can hear them screaming down their headphones.
Yeah.
Did that come with the bag when you bought it?
No.
That was a little addition, was it?
Yeah, it's important to have a day pack. I actually go through about one day pack a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're not a bag for life, but good enough.
Fill them up with so much stuff. You know, this is the kind of thing that you'd carry your laptop and your water when you're going around the city trying to do some work in a cafe.
Yeah, I mean, you were very surprised that I didn't have a day pack, weren't you, when we were in Oman? And you very kindly, for my birthday, bought me one, which is fantastic, and I use it all the time. It's a great size.
Yep.
I have got another day pack that I also was using in Canada. Now, I love a frame in a bag.
Yeah.
I don't want the bag to be sitting directly on my back. I like a bit of structure because I do like walking long distances, and I just feel like sometimes when you've got, like the day pack you've got, for example, and the one that you bought me, it's made of a material that is, it easily allows whatever's inside it to keep its shape.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So if you have got something that's a bit sharp or pokey in there and you're walking for a long time throughout the city, you know, you might end up getting whacked in the back a few times.
I think
but
key
it's
with
very
those.
Convenient.
Yeah, don't have too much in there. Bottle of water and a laptop, that's kind of it.
Yeah, don't go carrying loads of sharp objects or anything.
Yeah, no.
A clenched fist. Don't carry that in your bag.
Never.
What else we got, mate?
This is just a toiletries bag. It's toothpaste, it's shampoo,
yeah,
it's contact lens solution. It's
I mean, have I noticed though, is it a brand? Is it a manufacturer?
It's an Osprey again.
It's an Osprey again. He's sponsored by Osprey,
I am sponsored by Osprey. What else has it got in there? Nail clipper, toothbrush, that sort of thing. It's a bit, you know, but also my face wash and soap goes in here as well.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we have mentioned your going to bed and morning routine.
Yeah.
How often do you,
wash my face?
No. How often do you think about what you've got and think, oh, I could be a little bit, you know, more streamlined. I could take even less stuff. Are you always consciously packing, trying to pack the least amount of stuff possible? Or are you at a stage now where you just always take a standard amount of things?
Yeah, after 10 years, it's like my toiletries has gone up and down.
Yeah.
And now it's at a point where it's like, oh, of course I could have less.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need shampoo, for example.
Yeah.
I don't need a dedicated face wash. I could use a bar of soap.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have.
Okay, cool. Well, maybe you've just made enough margin, enough room in your pack that you can now start adding stuff again.
Well, both me and you travel with like aftershave spray, right? Smelly potion spray.
I have done actually, yeah, I have, but usually only those little tester bottles.
Yeah, sure, but it's still something that's obviously not essential.
Mm-hmm.
There are little quality of life things, I think, once you've been traveling for a longer time, that you can just integrate into your pack that don't make too much of a difference. And smelling nice is one of those things. It's like, is it necessary? No, we're traveling, but is it nice? Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think on that note, it's well, we're going to talk about the rest of your pack, but I think when it comes to packing now and how much we take, you know, I'm comfortable with 35, 40 litres, as are you. We obviously carry a lot of technical equipment as well and electronics because we run a travelling podcast. But aside from that, I would find it quite difficult to pack more than I take.
I agree.
And I don't know if that's just, you know, a result of travelling for a long time, but I would definitely have too much stuff if I was taking any more. So...
Yeah, and I don't know how to get this across. You know what I'll do, actually? In the link of this description, I'll give a full packing list of everything that I travel with. Because it's maybe didn't make this clear, but in these packing cubes where I've got all my clothes, I'm packed for all seasons. With this same list, I've been in Indian summer and Ushuaia in the wintertime near Antarctica.
Yeah.
Like there's a fleece in there that layered with a shirt and a t-shirt and a base layer. I can be in the coldest temperatures and I'll be fine.
Okay, so there's some versatile, practical items in there. So just maybe be a bit smart when you're choosing your clothes, I suppose.
I can go shorts and a t-shirt from this, or I can also go 3 layers and a fleece.
Okay.
It's all in there.
Yeah.
6 pairs of underwear, 6 pairs of socks.
Okay. Any thinking behind that? Or was that just sort of whittled down over time? Because taking more than that, I think, is too much.
Yeah, I just want to go a week without having to do laundry. And, that's basically the thinking behind that. I want to have to do laundry once a week maximum.
Yeah.
Or at a push, I can extend that to 2 weeks.
Yes. Yeah. Do you think that people take much more than that in terms of underwear and socks? I mean,
6 is on the generous side.
Yeah, taking more than 6 pairs of socks. I mean, if you are taking more than 6 pairs of socks, you've got more socks than I have.
You can get away with 4.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah,
I would say
6 is like very, very comfortable. I can, extend that out for a few days and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's your underwear and your socks. Do you think that there's anyone listening to this who's sort of thinking to themselves, well, what about this item and what about this item?
Definitely.
I don't really know what else you would add apart from perhaps beauty products.
Yeah, or obviously feminine hygiene products, stuff like that's essential.
Yeah.
I have contact lenses, which other people wouldn't have to have. Some people have to take tampons and stuff.
Yeah.
People sometimes I've seen travel with clotheslines and hair straighteners, so not everyone's in alignment on this. That is the main body of my pack. That's pretty much everything sartorial, everything fabric. Travel towel. This is an ultralight travel towel by a company called Matador. I think they make the best travel towels on the market. It's extremely small. It does the job, dries incredibly quickly, and it's the least stinky one that I've ever had.
Yeah, and if you lose it, it often turns up, doesn't it?
Yep, I lost it several times. It's always turned up several times. People wash themselves with these and then put them in their bag while they're moving. Put it in the front mesh compartment of your bag. It stops you from stinking like a dirty animal.
Yeah, excellent. And do you, like me, find yourself accruing paperwork or other little bits of sort of paraphernalia and things that you pick up along the way? Something that I repeatedly find in my bag is the little sleeve, the envelope that a SIM card comes in.
Yeah,
and I put those, I think, I might need that for later. Never happens.
Yeah, those actually go in my fanny pack, which I'll bring out in a second.
Okay.
But at the moment, I've done a document purge, so there's nothing in Lucky because I've been home.
Yep.
We're almost done, to be honest, because this front pouch of Lucky is just for electronics, which obviously are in use right now recording the podcast. So this is where my microphone and everything goes. At the moment, it's home to a big powerful power bank, which can charge my phone a few times, so that's really useful, obviously. Cool. And as a concession to fun, there's a harmonica in there, which is nice. So
okay,
that's the whole pack.
Well, in the interests of answering Sif's email in its entirety, we should also talk about what we carry from a technical perspective to record the podcast, because that's someone listening to this might think, well, he's got all bases covered, but he also runs a travel podcast.
Yeah, so we've got an Apple MacBook M1. It's the lightest laptop I could find. Yeah. And then we sort of built these microphones from the ground up, especially to travel. They're Samsung Go microphones on a sort of bespoke collapsible stand. It's all the lightest weight stuff that we could find.
Yeah, so that they're great to hold. We also sort of sometimes interview people with it. They collapse down, as you've mentioned. They're very lightweight. They do sometimes come into question when you are going through immigration and stuff, and people go, why are you traveling with a microphone? Well, we run a podcast. Okay, on you go.
We often get stopped for these because they look a bit like a torch lighter when they're folded down.
Yes, like a Zippo type thing.
Yeah.
I've even been stopped for my padlock 3 times in recent months.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Why? What's your padlock looking like? You got one of those AK-47 ones?
It's just a normal padlock with one of those bolts that goes through the top. But I don't know, I always, I don't know if I've mentioned this on the podcast before. I don't think it's been entirely appropriate. But when I was working in finance, there was a lady I used to work under or report to. And she would always tell me that when you're making a decision in terms of lending money, but this can be applied to lots of different areas of your life, never ask the question if it doesn't change the answer.
Right.
And I love that, because otherwise you're just wasting people's time.
Yes.
Right. In terms of lending money, if you're going to do the deal, and it is a deal, you don't have to ask any more questions than that. Just do it and move on.
Yeah,
right?
get it done.
So the immigration officers, I feel, will often ask us questions, and even though they're going to let us through, even though they know it's a padlock, they'll still take the time. Can you get that out your bag? Is that your bag? Yeah, it's my bag. What's in there? Oh, it's a padlock. Oh, we saw it. Yeah, it's a padlock. Am I allowed through? Yeah, you're allowed through. thanks very much. No.
Immigration officers are the natural sworn enemy of the traveller. They're almost like in the savannah of travelling.
Yeah.
They're the predator to our gazelle.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But that line I've used before, that you taught me it. If you're not going to change the outcome, don't ask the question. I've used it and stopped people in their tracks before in my day-to-day life.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, take it with you wherever you go, listener.
It's a good line.
It is. I like it. It's got a nice ring to it. And then I guess the other thing, because Sif is going to India,
Yeah.
have told us that. What would you take to India that you haven't got in your pack? Or is this a good India pack?
I think this served me really well in India. I wear a pair of hiking shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So shoes that are designed specifically for the purpose of hiking, but also just a plain black colour so that I can wear them out to a bar or something like that. One pair of shoes only. One pair of shoes and the flip-flops, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, going to India in any season, I suppose if you're going up into the north, right, it can get very chilly.
Yeah.
I don't think even in winter it would get that cold down south, would it?
No, not really. Yeah, and the shoes that I took to hike Everest were fine everywhere.
Yes. Yeah. Fine. I mean, in my head now, I'm thinking you can go to India with very little, really, on your person and in your pack.
I think shoes really fuck people up.
Yeah.
Because, like, imagine if I included a pair of shoes in this. It takes up a lot of space.
Yeah, totally.
An additional pair of shoes. And it is unnecessary.
Yeah, I think I've taken... on a couple of journeys, I've taken some hiking boots and then maybe some shoes that are more like sneakers or trainers.
Yeah.
And then also flip-flops as well. But have you seen that more and more people now, certainly over the last 5-10 years, are starting to wear those sandals that you kind of strap around the back of your ankle and stuff? You can go out walking all day in those things.
Sure, yeah. I mean, when I first started traveling, I had a pair of hiking boots and a pair of those sort of Birkenstock-style sandals. I traded out the Birkenstock sandals for a pair of flip-flops. A pair of flip-flops and a pair of walking shoes, I think, for me, is perfect. I wouldn't want anything else. I mean, that's 10 years of whittling down and figuring out what it is I wanted. I've had big, heavy hiking shoes. I've had tiny hiking shoes. I've had sandals, all that stuff. For me, a good, comfortable pair of closed walking shoes and a pair of flip-flops for the shower is all you need.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, certainly. And maybe it doesn't even matter exactly where you're going either, because I think you can probably get by with some smart choices. Yeah,
exactly. In this little top compartment of Lucky is my concession to sentimentalism. That is where I keep little trinkets that I collect along the way. There's some Buddhist mala that I got in the birthplace of Buddha there, and some gifts that people have given me along the way. There's a couple of bracelets and a couple of rings and stuff. There's the ring that got destroyed on the glacier in Patundus.
Oh, wow. You still carry that for sentimental reasons. That's lovely.
Yeah, I consider that very much the soul of Lucky. That all goes in there. That's my concession to sentimentalism.
Yeah.
I think it's nice to have we don't get a lot of things as a traveller, so it's nice to have a pouch of things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sometimes discovering things in my bag when I do sort of a deep dive into the pockets that maybe I don't explore that frequently, or I just chuck things in and then forget about.
Yeah.
And the other day I found it's like a green stone. I don't think it's not jade or emerald, but it's got some sort of property.
Greenstone, yeah.
And that's supposed to keep you sort of safe and lucky. And that was given to me by an ex-girlfriend. And I found it the other day and I thought, oh, that's lovely.
It's a shame to have to throw things away. So having a little area of your bag where you can keep little totems from the road, I think is nice.
Yeah, because are you a souvenir buyer?
Not at all, no.
Yeah, me neither.
No.
Me neither. But I meet people often on the road who do buy a lot of souvenirs and also keep room in their pack so they can carry those souvenirs home. And maybe it depends on how long the trip is, I suppose.
That little tangled web of bracelets is just like, if I can't bear to throw something away, then I'll keep it in that little pouch.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned a good point when we're talking about all the equipment.
Yeah.
And it's just so heavy, isn't it? The equipment that we carry makes a massive difference to how much our pack weighs.
Yeah, absolutely.
I talk to some people about their pack and, I obviously see them unpacking or packing or trying to lift it off the floor. Sometimes it might be a backpack, but it weighs a ton. I think if you're not running a travel podcast, what have you even got in there?
Yeah, well, exactly. My bag would be so light if it wasn't for, all the camera and stuff, the MacBook. That's a good point, though, is that we use continuity cam. We just use our iPhones as the main video camera of Tripology. So
yeah, you might have been surprised because it's incredibly clear and detailed.
That makes a big difference. Advances in technology mean that it's possible. Obviously, universal power adapter, super important. And then just lastly, we mentioned I also have a fanny pack, a bomb bag, a sling constantly.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I keep my passports in there, my card wallet.
Oh, yeah.
RFID blocking in case someone tries to scan my pocket.
He loves his gadgets, old Al.
And then lastly, maybe the most important thing that I went for 8 years without traveling with, but now that I have it, I'm like, why on earth did you ever not travel with it?
Okay.
It's a pen.
Oh, right.
I mean...
I really thought you were going to whip out the harmonica then.
No, that was there. Travel with a pen, obviously.
Obviously. It's so easy. Yeah. I mean, that's tiny as well.
It's the smallest pen I could find. It's tiny. It's a little tiny, lightweight brass pen.
A very, very lightweight brass pen. I mean, it almost weighs nothing. And yeah, they're incredibly useful. I always find myself sort of trying to fill in the landing card on a plane.
Exactly.
And asking everyone for a pen.
So there we go. That's the pack.
That's amazing. Well... Sif, I hope that answers your question.
Comprehensive.
Yeah. I mean, of course, if you do have any further questions, you can just reach out and message us. We'll always email back. It's lovely to hear from you. And we wish you all the best in India. What an amazing trip you have planned, and, drive safe wherever you are.
Yeah, immensely practical list there. I mean, just born from the fact that we've been traveling for 10 years and obviously our packing has to be pretty practical. I'd love for it to all tripologically and wonderful and say, yeah, this is a compartment in my bag where I keep a plastic dinosaur and a set of false teeth. But unfortunately, it's just impossible. We travel how we travel. That's all the sort of stuff we do. If you want to write to us, don't use a pen like me going around with that little brass number. You can go to tripologypodcast.com, get in touch with us just like Sif did. If you want to follow like little reels and stuff on Instagram.
Yeah, you go at Tripology Podcast on Instagram. We'd love to see you there.
And before I blast off to Brazil, where am I going to head first, Adam?
You're going to Paris tonight. So you've actually got to repack your entire bag. So we better shoot off to the Patreon section.
I was actually talking about the Patreon section, seeing where I'm going to next. So that's perfect. Yeah, let's go to Patreon. It comes out 24 hours early. And do you know what's going to happen in this Patreon episode?
I'm not too sure. Go on, tell me.
Reveal all my travel anxieties. Let's go there right now.
I'll see you there.
Bye.